Now, joining me live on NC Continental Prime tonight to discuss this development is Gideon Mutum, the founder of Nehemiah IDP camp in Kaduna. A warm welcome to you, Gideon. Thanks for joining us on the news.
Thank you for having me once again.
Now, Gideon, we know the Kaduna State Government has spoken against the purported sale of forms to residents before becoming beneficiaries of palliatives and other interventions being provided by the government. Can you make sense of what is going on and how do they unravel this development?
Okay, thank you so much, as I said, for having me. I read in the news also that the governor has actually condemned some elements within his the structure that he has put and the communities that are going to benefit from this palliative. But we have to make sense of it in putting it this way, that whosoever is selling the form will have a reason for doing that. Reason being that Kaduna State is hunger stricken as I speak to you now. Food is a very expensive commodity, and I know it's a Nigerian thing, but in Kaduna State, whatever goes and anything can happen just for people to survive. So that shows you the level of hunger and the level of desperation that is in the state as I speak to you now. And another thing that you also need to know, the community that I was able to get in touch with spoke intensively that it is not the sale of form that happened in that local government and in that community. Mm-hmm. What was happening was actually the documentation of individuals or families who are to benefit from this.
A sort of registration.
Yes. So one of them was suggesting that the forms need to be photocopied. And in the process of that photocopying, they needed to have a kind of a community gathering of 5 naira and 10 naira just so that they can photocopy and get themselves documented. So to stop other elements that will come back and say that we have not received. So, but you find it varies within community by community. So it could be possible, as I said, in some quarters that these forms were or sold, and then the governor might have his ears and his eyes on the ground, especially for the people that he has sandaled to do this. So it could be those elements that we are able to see those who are selling the form. But Kaduna State, as I said, is hunger-stricken state right now. So anything can happen. This palliative, I learned that some families were able to access only 1 cup of rice from all that you are seeing and glamour on the social media and also on the news.
So that's quite a sad picture,
yes.
Gideon. Just following up from what you said, I mean, there's a need for this palliatives. People in Kaduna State, they're really needy and they're hungry. How can the government, or how does the government of Kaduna State ensure that these interventions do get to the right people?
First of all, when you talk about getting to the right people, you will talk about a data. You will have to do that with the data, and the data must tell you these are the most vulnerable, as the narrative has been going on, is going to the poorest of the poor. But we must ask ourselves, are these poorest of the poor being ever documented? I handle IDPs. The question is that, do the government even know that we have IDPs in the state? No. For the past over 9 years, the government refused the narrative of the IDPs in the state. So within the jurisdiction of what I handle, the government don't even know that there are IDPs in their midst, and others have lost their source of livelihood and also breadwinners for over 8 years, and they have been wallowing in poverty. So for that to be ensured, there must be a correct data. You cannot call religious leaders, you call community leaders, and you hand over such palliative to them and ask that, and you think it has arrived when they bring pictures and a snapshot of handing over palliative one back to a. So the mechanism to be used has not been used before now, and which I will call the government to be proactive instead of this issue of reactive, to issues. We must come to a point in this nation where we are proactive concerning issues. Documentation is very important. Data collection is very important. Within a community, we must be able to sample and also document those who are vulnerable before any palliative could even start. But when you don't have those things and the government is lazy about it, they know what they are doing in such a way. Sometimes, honestly, these things are done. It will just surprise you. Like people like us who handles IDPs, no consultation to any one of us.
Even though you've been on the field and you have the requisite experience in this sort of things, I wish we could go on. Gideon Mutum, thank you so much for your time, as always. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.